Hello, everybody. Dr. Carmen Bryant, Psychological Health Consultants and Services, with my program Redefining Yourself, a program that was developed for women that are thinking of leaving or needing more information concerning domestic violence. But my specific topic of interest is narcissist abuse and narcissist abuse recovery. So, overcoming narcissist abuse. So, if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Carmen Bryant with a T, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Or you can also go to my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Normally I come on live on Sundays. However, because we are going back into the holidays, I will not be able to come on live this evening, Sunday, today, December 30th. But I will come on live tomorrow, December 31st. I'll come on before I leave. And so I'll probably come on. I know some of you guys are on a different time zone as I am. So there's probably like a 2, 3 to 4 hour difference to where I am at. So I'm going to try to come in, check in with you guys and come live maybe about 3 Pacific time. So you guys may, between, it's about 2, 3, 4 o'clock Pacific time. So I want you guys to make sure you check your clock, see what the difference is between Washington State and where you guys are at. But I will come on because tomorrow is the last day of 2018, and I want to talk to you guys about some things going into 2019 and your recovery process. I thank every single one of you guys for, first of all, the new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and finding, what I have to say relevant to your life and relevant to your process of healing. I'm so honored for that. And I'm so thankful for you guys that are sending emails, that want to talk to me and tell me your stories. Some of your stories have been quite amazing. The things that you guys have been through, the things that you guys have endured and suffered. And, I want you guys to begin to start changing your language. You have to start changing your language in the world of psychology, we have what's called cognitive behavior therapy. Well, cognitive behavior therapy is changing your cognitions, meaning changing the way that you think so that you'll change your behaviors. And it also have behavioral therapy, meaning to change your behavior to let you see, the difference, whether in how you feel, the things you do, in order to change your thoughts. So in order to change the way you see things, you also have to change the way that you speak, because the more you say something, especially if you keep telling yourself that you're stupid, eventually you're going to believe that you're stupid. And everything around you, whether negative or positive, you're going to think that you're stupid, because now you're going to prove to yourself that you're stupid. Who told you were stupid? That's what you guys have to think about. Who told you were stupid? Change the way that you talk. Change the way that you see yourself. You have the capability of changing the way that you think. You do. You have the power to do that. A therapist doesn't come in and wave a wand and then all of a sudden you're healed. A therapist is a person that helps you to see things differently, or helps you to in your process of healing. But really the work is all on you. I always tell my clients, you have to think about it for just a minute. If you come in and you tell a therapist, the average therapist, I stink and I need to change that. What do? We provide you with tools. So we explain to you, we're going to give you a bar of soap, we're going to give you a washcloth, and we're going to give you a towel. Well, it's up to you. Well, I don't have the energy to do it. Okay, well, at least do it once a week. Once a week will help you, and then we can build you up to maybe more than once a week taking a bath. But if you come back that following week and say it didn't work, and so I think this therapy is not working for me, and we ask you, well, did you try it? And you said, no, I didn't do it. Well, you have the tools to do it. The therapist is not going to come and help you take a bath. You're going to have to use those tools that were provided for you. So that in the world of therapy, you are the agent of your change. You are the greatest advocate for your change. But you have to stop being negative when you speak of yourself. You don't have a low self-esteem. You don't have a low self-worth. Whether you feel it or not, you have to start changing the way that you see yourself. You're going to have to start changing the way that you speak about yourself. And that's why I want to just come on really quick. And I wanted to tell you, the 5 branches of service. You have, and this is the correct order for those of you that want to know the correct order of the military branches of services and how they came to be, the years they came to be. You have Army, you have Marine, you have Navy, you have Air Force, you have Coast Guard. Well, Coast Guard now is officially a part of the Homeland Security, while the other branches of service are part of the Department of Defense, so DOD, Department of Defense. Well, each branch of service requires basic training to introduce you and indoctrinate you into the military service. They take a civilian-minded individual and bring you into a very structured environment to teach you protocol, to teach you leadership, to teach you how to conduct yourself, to teach you professionalism, and to train you to operate as a team. The hardest branch of service when it comes to basic training is the Marine Corps. Is one of the hardest and most strenuous branches of service, period. And the best outfit, don't tell my Army friends that I said that, but the most strenuous, the hardest, and the most I want to say tedious in when it comes to basic training. They say that what is it, they're looking for a few good men. So, well, men and women now, but it's also, these are the elite of the military service, the best of all branches of service. It is. And the most strenuous and hardest basic training that you'll ever go through. And so even in the military, we come in with a civilian mindset, and you're trained to think military, to think team, to think buddies, to think the bigger picture, and then when you graduate from basic training, well, first of all, let me go back to basic training. In basic training, you come in, and the challenge is you have a psychological challenge, you have an emotional challenge, and you have a physical challenge. Many people don't make it through basic training, not because physically they're challenged and they're unable to do it, but they're emotionally, psychologically challenged. They're not used to people telling them what to do. They're not accustomed to protocol, rules, following guidances, people yelling in their faces. Their stress level's too high, and a lot of people do not make it through basic training because they can't handle the stress of the military. Where if you cannot handle the stress of the military at a basic training level, you're not going to be able to manage your stress level in wartime situations. Those that actually pass, some of them not even physically capable, but they're mentally capable. They're mentally strong. They build a mentally strong military service member or soldier in the military. In the Army. And so from there, you advance into advanced individual training. For some, it's A school. I think it's A school for the Navy. I'm not sure what it was for the other branches, but for the Army, it was advanced individual training. This is where you actually learn your military occupational skill. This is the job that you are learning to do while you are in the military. You just don't become a soldier and just walk around a soldier all day long. You actually do something in the military. You have human resources. You have logistics. You have military police. You have medical field. So you learn, but everything in the military, as you go through the military, you always have to return back to your basics. So when you have poor leadership, we always look back at the basics of their learning. Do you have discipline? Do you understand military culture? Do you understand military language? And even when you graduate from the basic, it's the two-part basic, the basic training and then the advanced individual training, the military occupational training, is all part of the basic training. And then they put you into military culture. Well, when you come into military culture, they still have their own culture. They have their own language. There's things, and you have to learn and grow in the military. We have bad leadership. You have leadership that goes through the ranks of leadership and a poor leadership, bad leadership, because their basic foundation is they never learn the basic, or they can care less about the basic foundation. So you can always pinpoint where it goes back to, when it comes to poor leadership or poor soldiering, which is the basic training, basic concept of military. So having said that, think about it for just a minute. Most of you guys have been in a situation where you have been with a narcissist. That narcissist, and then for a lot of you, you've come out of families that had narcissistic parents. You had families, foster care. You may have been rejected. You may have been abandoned. You may have been adopted. You may have been abused, sexually, mentally abused. Some of you guys come out of families that were chaotic. You had the father that abused the mother. You had the mother that abused the father, manipulated. So many people have come from dysfunctional families, so they never had a good foundation of what family or marriages or relationships even look like. So most of the time people go out and they look for relationships and they build this concept in their head. They have this idea in their head as to what they want this relationship to be like, or how they want their relationships to be. And what ends up happening is you become vulnerable to a narcissist. And I'm not saying in all situations, but you become very vulnerable to bad relationships. You become vulnerable in repeating a process that may have been a part of your family history. People that have been in foster care, I've met many people that were generational foster care, adoptions, abuse, drug addictions, codependent families. You can trace it back. back. Just like I said in another video, when you go back and you do blood tests in when people have diabetes, when they have cancers, they do blood tests and they ask you history, family history. And a lot of you come from family history of dysfunction. And so here you are, never healed or never have gotten help in relationships or learning about yourself and where you are wounded, and you have become totally susceptible and always like an infection, susceptible for infections and bad relationships. And what ends up happening is you connected with a narcissist. Those of you that have connected with a narcissist. Well, a narcissist goes in and a narcissist just totally tears up. I mean, the foundation is already weak, but a narcissist goes in and all the videos that I've been teaching, they go in with all these different maneuvers, manipulation, gaslighting, abuse, what else do we talk about? Gaslighting, ghosting, projecting, all this negative stuff to kind of shake the foundation that probably wasn't stable in your life in the first place. So here you are, and now you're even speaking words that were not even yours. I have a low self-esteem. I never get anything right. I can't even get relationship right. I've been in all these relationships because you've never took the time to heal. When you take the time to heal, and the hardest thing is after being discarded or having discarded, but the abuse that comes along with it, as if you and them have never, in your mind, you're still thinking like a empath. You're thinking like a rational human being when it comes to relationships. You're thinking, we build rapport, we build a life. I want to be loved. I'm going to love you and respect you. And many of you are asking the question, I just don't understand why they did me the way that they did me. What's wrong with them? One viewer did ask, why do they sabotage? Well, first of all, you're thinking from the point of view of having empathy. Remember, I told you a narcissist does not have the capacity to have empathy or compassion for anybody. And so you're thinking from the standpoint of a person that has compassion and empathy. So you're looking like, do you not feel? Do you not, don't you feel sorry? You feel sorry, but they don't have the capacity to think the same the way you do. So the way that you're viewing them is the way that you think. You can't think the way that they think. They don't think the way that you think. And so you're rationalizing their behavior based upon how you feel and how you think. They don't think the way that you think. They have a mental health issue. They have a mental illness, a personality disorder that cannot be changed. And so you think about it for a minute. When you look at psychopaths and sociopaths and people that have murdered, and you're looking at them like, I don't understand. How can you not have compassion for your own children? What is wrong with you? Why would you do something like that? How can people do this? Well, they're on the same level as a psychopath and a sociopath. The narcissist is on the same level that they're at. And so you don't question them because of the term psychopath and sociopath, but a narcissist is on the same level as they are. You have to stop thinking the way that you think. You're thinking from the standpoint of compassion and your standpoint of empathy. Now, the other thing is that why do they always self-sabotage? Okay, think about this for just a minute. Most people when they're you have a group of friends or you have a group of people that you hang around. There's that one person that's always like the joking, laughing type person that always want people to be in a good mood, or just the type of person that has just as good aura. There's really great personality. And so, if you're not feeling well, you get around them, they're just going to make you smile and laugh. They take your mind off of your problems, because that's what's in them. That's their personality, just bubbly, happy-go-lucky, type of person. You ever been around a person that's always depressed? You get around a person that's always depressed, eventually you want to stop being around them because like, oh my gosh, you are so gloomy. You're like Donkey ER off of Winnie the Pooh. You're just always gloomy. You just depressed. I just can't be around you. You just, oh my gosh, you pull me down, pull my emotions down. Well, you got to think for a minute. When you're dealing with a narcissist, first of all, they have no self-identity. They create their character and their identity based upon the person that they're a parasite. Remember, so whoever they latch onto is the personality and the character that they create. And remember, I told you create the character that you want them to be by the stuff that you say. So they conform to the words that you say and the things that you say. They begin to conform to what it is. They become what you want them to be, not what they are. And so to each individual person that they connect to, they become that individual personality, characteristic, voice. And you're looking at them thinking we have such a great connection. No, they're mirroring you, but you have to think that a narcissist is a very troubled, turmoiled individual. How can a troubled, turmoiled vicious, angry individual ever bring you joy or peace. They are self-sabotaging individuals. Everything is about them. Everything is about me, me, me. I don't care about you. And if you don't do what, they sabotage everything. Nothing. They can have good. Think about it. Every single one of you that's been on the scope has told me, well, not everybody, but most everybody that's been on the scope has told me their pieces of story. Every narcissist that you guys have described to me, think about it. Each one of them self-sabotage. They may have had something good. They may have had, you were the perfect supply to a certain extent until they got tired. When they got tired, they went to go look for something else. Or when you start standing on your feet and start speaking for yourself, they sabotage. They sabotage. They went up and messed up a perfectly good family. They messed up income. Think about that. So a lot of them are very irresponsible when it comes to bills. They have that grandiose. So how can that individual person with narcissism, how can they not self-sabotage? They're not capable. Remember the snake? They're not capable of self-regulating themselves. The higher narcissists are capable of hiding their emotions more, and they're the more, what I would say, the more dark, sinister type, because they have mastered their craft. They have mastered those skills. So they know not to blow up, but they will get revenge on you. But they self-sabotage too. And eventually it comes out. It's just that most people, and I think someone said on here, if you listen to them, they'll tell on themselves if you know what you're listening for. But if you've never been taught what to listen for, how do you know what to listen for? If you just like accents, if you're learning a new language, how can you pick up on an accent of a new language that you're learning? You don't speak the language, so you don't know it unless you get accustomed to it. Then you can pick up accents. So if you're not accustomed to being around a narcissist and you're just discovering that you were in a narcissistic relationship, how do you pick up on these behaviors? And I want you guys to be encouraged, because you really have to start changing the way you think, because a narcissist has taken you and self-projected themselves on you. The way that they felt about themselves is how they think everyone feels and thinks. So they project their thoughts on you. I know that you're a thief. There's nobody that's honest, and I know you, but you have taken the responsibility and accountability of somebody else's thoughts. Those are not your thoughts. For you to say, I have a low self-esteem, I am ugly, I can't make it. Yes, you can. And women, for the ladies out there, women have proven time and time again that you can do it. You can make it. We are created to sustain. We are created to be able to do it. That's why, and for some of you guys, like I said, I'm a therapist, and so I like to be straightforward and everything. But think about it for just a minute. We carry a baby in our womb. We give birth. It's a self-contained bubble inside there. We birth life, and then we have the equipment that the child needs to sustain. We nurture that child, and we able to sustain. Our body produces milk to sustain a child. So if your body, and you were created like that as a woman, it doesn't matter what they've left you or not, you're still capable of sustaining yourself. I know that the pain may be just, the pain of discard can be excruciating. I understand that. The pain is very excruciating, but you got to look forward and make a plan for yourself. You have to go through the process of grief and loss. It's not going to stop. If you go through childbirth, and those of you that have went through childbirth without pain meds, I don't care how many people you tell in that delivery room that it hurts, it's not going to stop the pain. And if the medication didn't kick in, it's not going to stop the pain. You have to go through the pain to birth the baby. That's how it works. You are going through a healing process. You have to change the way that you think. The pain that you were in was literally destroying you, to a point where a narcissist doesn't mind whether you commit suicide. You drive yourself crazy. There are women that have committed suicide. There are women that are on medication. There are women that have, physical ailments and sicknesses and body issues, and like I said, the worst case scenario, they have committed suicide. But you have to think for a minute, wait a minute, you can make yourself through. The next pain from the discard it's a blessing that you've been discarded. It's good that they went away, or even if you discarded, but they will try to punish you if you're the one that discards. That's how they think. That's how they function. It's unfortunate that you connected with one, but the process and the pain that you go through after that is the process and pain of healing. Yes, the pain is excruciating. I get it, but so was childbirth. It was excruciating. So was surgery. It was excruciating. And sometimes the pain of surgery is worse than the original pain that you had. But you have to go through the process. There is no anesthetics that's going to help you through this process. This process, you're going to feel this process. If you jump back into a relationship too quick and you don't follow through with the process, you'll end up repeating the process again. You never learned the lesson. And then the next time it'd be even worse because you still have a scar or a wound that never healed and it was festering in the first place. So hopefully this has helped you tonight. I just wanted to bring you guys a word of encouragement just really quick because I'm not coming on live tonight. I'm going to come on live tomorrow, which is the last day of 2018, and I'm going to bring you some encouragement. I'm going to go live so that we can talk, we can chit chat before we go into 2019, because the main thing that I want you guys to do is to begin to change the way that you think. When you begin to change the way that you think and you have to create something different in your life now that the person is gone. You have to make it a purpose in your life to safeguard yourself, safeguard your mind, go and get healing. For some of you guys, you need to go to counseling. You need to talk to a grief and loss counselor. You need to get into counseling to deal with that grief and loss, because some of that pain is excruciating. Some of you guys do need to be on medication at this particular time as you're going through this process. There are many people that have come into counseling that may have lost a loved one, a child, a husband, a wife, a parent, and that pain is so excruciating that they do, have been in a traumatic situation. They do go and get medication to help them at the time, an antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication to help you sleep. Some of you guys are not even sleeping at night because you're tossing and turning all night and these images are going through your head and you're letting these images go through your head. If you allow your mind, if you allow your mind will just run on and on and on with a film in your head. And you'll create a whole story that you don't even know. All you know is this person did this. And so your mind is beginning to create this movie in your head. And you're allowing your mind. You can't allow your mind just to run wild. You have to purpose in your mind to think on purpose. Does that make sense? You have to purpose in your mind to think on purpose. And if the thoughts that are coming up in your mind are, and I just did this video, I did a video where I talked about that. You have to distract yourself. When these thoughts, even at night, some of you guys are struggling with sleep at night. You have to get some rest. You have to give your body a break. You have to give your mind a break. And that takes time. That's a process. The pain is excruciating. I know. But you have to get through this pain. You have to make it through this pain. Stop speaking so negatively. You can't speak now. I have a low self-esteem. I have no self-worth. Nobody loves me. Who told you that? Where did that come from? It come from the scenarios you've been through? Is it something that the narcissist told you? Well, if a narcissist told you that, they were lying to you in the first place. Everything that they said about you is everything that they felt about themselves. So I want you guys to change the way that you think. I want you to change the way, and that's a hard thing to do, but it is possible. Don't think it's not possible. And so I'm going to come back to you guys live tomorrow, December 31st, before we go into the new year, and I'm going to come and talk to you guys live, give you guys some encouragement into the 2019, because there's some changes that has to take place. You guys purpose and make it a point to know I am going to heal in 2019. I'm going to become the best me that I can be. I am going to make it through this process so I can teach other people about this. Some people are waiting for you to make it through. Some people are waiting for you to make it through this process because you have information and experiences that's going to help other people get to the other side. The other side meaning the other side of healing. Either you can stay in your pain or you can make up in your mind that you're going to change and you're going to use this pain to launch you into your healing. People need to hear about this. People need to know that you made it through yourself. The thing about it is that I repeat it over and over and over again. The pain can be excruciating, but you have to make it to the other side. People are waiting for you to make it to the other side. People are waiting for you to get your healing so they can see that it is possible, that it can be done, and it can be done. Stop beating yourself up for the mistakes that you've made. Stop beating yourself up for the choices that you made in relationship. Now you're going to be wiser. Now, you have to go through school, and through school, you have to go kindergarten through 12th grade. And if you want to get an advanced education, you have to go and apply for scholarships or financial aid to go into college. But everything that you learn, you have to learn how to apply it as well. This is your time. You can make a choice. I can stay bitter forever, or I can take this and I can change. I can heal. When a person is making a decision to lose weight, they have to the change becomes permanent when the mindset becomes permanent. There are people that lose weight, but their minds haven't caught up with their, sometimes the weight comes off, but their mind hasn't caught up with their body. So in their mind, they're still the fat girl, the fat boy that they've always been. They still have the psychological issues that go along with the weight gain, the eating and the coping skills. So a lot of times when people go through like gastric bypass or bariatric surgery, they have to go through counseling to help them to change the way that they think about food, to help them with coping skills, because it's a food addiction. And if you look at, I think the show My 600-Pound Life, a lot of these people are addicted to food because they've been traumatized. They have been through something that has caused them to eat, and then they cannot control the addiction of food. But a lot of them that have the surgery have never changed the way that they thought. So a lot of time the surgery becomes very unsuccessful. They don't lose the weight and they're still big and they have the surgery. Well, you have to change your mind about your healing, and you have to purpose in your heart and in your mind that you're going to change, and understand it comes with some side effects. It comes with pain, but you have to purpose in your mind. And I'm here to help you through the process. I'll continue to post the videos, and you guys continue to send me questions that you want me to address. Some of you guys have sent me some. I have not forgotten. I will do the videos, but continue to send me questions. Whatever's on your mind, send it to me via email. Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant @outlook.com. Send me the questions, and then I will address those. Whatever's on your mind, send it to me, and I'll talk you through it. I give you my professional opinion about it. We're gonna work our way through it. But I guarantee you, if you stick with me, and if you go listen to other coaches, connect with other coaches, listen to the other coaches, pay for their services, and when my services come available, I will let you guys know. But if you stick through them and you continue to do and continue watching the videos and continue educating yourself, eventually it's going to get to a point where you're going to look back and say, I can't believe I made it from there to here. You can see yourself a year from now. If you wait until December 31st of 2019, you guys begin to document where you are now. Write in a journal how you feel, what you're thinking, all those negative thoughts that you have, write it down and see where you're at. And then wait 6 months from now, go back and look at that and see where you're at from that point forward. If you stick with me and you stick to the other coaches that you see on YouTube, go and see where you're at that point. And then 6 months after that, which is a whole year, December 31st of 2019, go back and look at what you wrote and then write down where you are then. If you stick to it, it will change your life. And the longer the relationship, the longer the healing. It is what it is. The longer the relationship, the longer the healing. And a lot of you guys have family trauma. You come from family trauma. So the longer the trauma, sometimes the longer the healing, but it is possible. It can happen for you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant. That's with a T, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. And I also have a professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hit the like button so you guys can stay tuned on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can hear whenever I post a video or whenever I come on live. I will come on live tomorrow before I go on about my day to bring in the New Year's celebration and make my New Year's decrees, just like you guys should, but stick to it, stick to it, stick to it, stay faithful to it, commit yourself to it to make that change. You want to change, you want to lose the weight, you got to make and when I say the weight, I mean the weight of the pressure that's on you. If you want, you have to commit yourself to it. You have to purpose in your mind that you're going to change. You have to change your cognitions in order to change your behavior. You got to change the way you think. So I want you guys in 2019, I want you to know that you got to change the way that you think to change your life. It's not going to last forever if you trust the process. And the process is oftentimes a very painful process. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. All my new subscribers, thank you guys so much for finding value in something that I had to say. And thank you guys for letting me know that it's helping you. Continue to tell me what you need. I'll continue to talk about it. Continue subscribing and continue sharing these videos, because you never know who in your family or your friends are going through narcissist abuse and they don't even know what it is or what it looks like. There are many people coming forward now. 30 years I've been in a relationship, Dr. C, and I never knew that was narcissist abuse. Now they have answers. Now they see what they've been through, and now the healing process. If you never know, you can never heal. So thank you guys once again. And as I always say, and as my friend always says, go and be great.